Alright, this is discussion 3. Give 3 descriptive words for each player. So I'll start with 00. 3 words for her I think would be anxious, shy, and tormented. So 00 is notably the only character that doesn't speak for the majority of the play. When she does speak, well, I guess her first real kind of spotlight on her character, she's still not even speaking. She's having something akin to a panic attack. And then when she ends up actually speaking next, she goes on this kind of tangent. It's a little bit of a monologue for her. So she's in her head a lot of the time from her monologue that starts on 141. She talks about missing the ball and seeing things slip through her fingers, and that she visualizes a lot. And a lot of times she's visualizing herself failing. So that's where I think the tormented part really comes in, is because she's so stuck in her head. For number 2, I think that she's sheltered, unlucky, and innocent. As far as unlucky goes, she's either in a concussion helmet or having a nosebleed and getting it all over another girl, or needing some kind of period product. She comes from a sheltered environment. She's raised in a religious household. She's also struggling with this either an eating disorder or some kind of food insecurity that she's not vocal about. When she speaks to the rest of her teammates, she's often kind of on the outside of it all. Like she understands what's going on, but there's just something fundamentally lacking, and I think it's because of her sheltered environment. 7 is abrasive and antagonistic and nonchalant. She's very often cursing and swearing and doing things to get a rise out of people. She's often yelling or fighting with her teammates. But I think the nuance of her character comes in with her being nonchalant, like when she tears her ACL. That's like a career devastating injury, but she's slightly bothered by it, but not as bothered as I think some people would be. Like, she says that it effing blows, or she maybe will be back in time for travel team. I think for a lot of student athletes that would cause like a total mental breakdown, but she's kind of scared to be vulnerable. I had a harder time finding specific words for 8. I think happy-go-lucky, cheerful, kind, but emotional, I think overall would be a good way to put her. She's often the comedic relief for the girls. So whenever anybody's fighting or tensions are high, she kind of cuts through the silence to unite the team. Even when she's emotional, like on page 88, when she's about on the verge of tears because they're accusing her of wanting Coach Patrick's mom to die. Not even 2 pages later, she's chipper. She goes from super upset to being happy again, just to cheer up the girls. 11 is a little high and mighty. She's very smart and thoughtful, but she can be a little egotistical. Especially at the beginning of the play, she's often talking about social issues. So like in week 1 with the dictator, or in week 2 with the children in cages. 2 says, I'm not talking about Mexican children in cages, and 11 says not just Mexican, mostly like Guatemalan and Honduran and like all over Central America. Like she corrects people often. 13 is like your typical stoner character. She's cool, she's laid back, she really doesn't care what the other girls think. She says dude and like a lot. She's very, very stereotypical for her age. She's funny. She's loosey-goosey and she's funny. 14 is interesting. So she can be very confident when she's by 7's side. She can also be really insecure. She's still trying to find her footing. I don't think she knows who she is outside of being with number 7 sometimes. I think prime 14 behavior is on page 13, where 7 tells her to shut it, and she says, haha, shut it, you, and 7 says, make me, and 14 just says, okay. 25 is our leader, and she very much conducts herself as such. She's headstrong, and she's confident, and she's ambitious, she's out to win, but often she's acting as the glue that holds the group together, and she takes on kind of this big sister or like motherly energy in a way. 46 is the outcast of the group for sure. She's new, she's still trying to find her footing. Because she's new, she can be a little blunt, and not know when an appropriate time is to butt in or make a joke. She feels isolated because of this, like when she's talking about the bird that's trapped in the dome. She's talking about herself and not knowing what kind of bird it is, in the same way that the girls don't really know how to perceive her, especially regarding her ethnicity. Despite being the outcast and not really knowing her place, I think it's interesting that she can be very forthcoming and confrontational, but not in a mean way. She just addresses issues very head-on. She doesn't leave room for sugarcoating. Like, if something's wrong, she's going to ask why instead of tiptoeing around it. And that is all the girls and their personalities.